things an athlete can do to kind of overcome a rough patch of form is basically to kind of take note and stock of what kind of occurred in that situation. And the important thing is to kind of reflect on those things and learn from those things, but not necessarily dwell or ruminate on the situation that kind of occurred, right? Because part of what we need to do here is see an athlete and as a person, just as a whole, rather than just a performer. And if something kind of occurs that was not expected or wasn't something that the athlete anticipated, dwelling on those things, ruminating on those things, or kind of going down a negative cognitive path can not only hinder current performance but also future performance. So it's extremely important to take note of what occurred and learn from what occurred, but also to make sure that one kind of once that is complete, or that process is complete, to then move forward and focus on not only the present but also future competition. I think it's really important to see oneself as not just that instance or that performance, but also as a larger whole. And each performance is just a moment in time, which is really important to keep in mind.
Absolutely. And to piggyback off what Dr. Max just mentioned, really wanting to showcase the value of the whole person and not getting mixed up with valuing what someone does as the summation of who they are. Rather than focusing on mistakes, like Dr. Max was mentioning, we want to shift our thinking from being self-critical to self-understanding. So these could be seen as opportunities for further reflection. For example, what are some of the traits that make us a great competitor? What are some of the values that we enjoy most about competing? And how does that reveal part of our inner strength and why we get up to do to strive for excellence? These are some of the hallmarks of being an athlete, and it's important to remember that internal and intrinsic motivation, as opposed to placing emphasis on something outside of our control.
Right. And I'll add one more thing to what Dr. Smith just said, which is also to kind of say that the self-criticalness that he mentioned is antithetical to self-compassion and as he mentioned, self-understanding. And so if you're just moving down a path of self-criticism, it becomes difficult to kind of learn and grow from that opportunity when one is being extremely harsh or punitive on oneself, right? So it's important to kind of maintain that optimism and also kind of use that as a springboard into kind of next step and next level performance or next level play. So again, it's important to kind of watch for those negativistic cognitions that can kind of pervade an athlete's mind and kind of take over, which will then take up space and not allow for that growth that we're looking for, or the performance optimization, because we're too hindered by the past and types of regret or guilt or shame that is associated with it. So letting go of those things allows for greater performance in future play.